Again, ceremony will look a lot different than what we're used to because of the dangerously cold conditions expected in D.C. Today, the presidential inauguration will now be inside. We know Trump and Vice President-elect J.D. Vance will take the oath inside the Capitol Rotunda.
Well, Trump supporters who traveled to Washington, D.C. for the presidential inauguration are reacting to changes brought on because of the weather.
And the choice to move the inauguration indoors has some feeling both disappointed and others optimistic. Our very own Myra Ruiz is in Washington, D.C., where she's been speaking with some folks.
We are along 7th Street, and as you can see behind me, people have lined up along this street. Now they're waiting to eventually go through security, which is the first stopping point, before they can get to the Capital One Arena, which is further down the street on the right. Now people have traveled from all over the place to be here today. Take a look behind me. You can see that line. Now they're here to witness the swearing in of Donald Trump for his second presidential term, along with his inaugural address. Now, people have expressed disappointment about the change to move everything indoors because they've gotten a preview of how challenging it might be to get into the Capital One Arena to view a simulcast of Trump becoming the nation's 47th president. Now, I had a chance to take some video from the backseat of my Uber ride last night. There are many roads that are blocked off surrounding the area of the Capitol. One arena, the Capital One Arena, that is. Uber drivers have to drop off their passengers where the roadblocks begin, which means people have to walk to the event. And people who attended last night's rally at the same venue had varying experiences.
Tom's actually a disabled Vietnam vet, so we were able to get to the disability line. So it didn't take as long as some of the general admission people.
Let's just say that.
It was pretty cold and rainy and sleet and all the elements, but it was still cool. It was worth it, every bit of it.
I stood in line until probably 3:15 when they finally came through, when the cops came through and said that they were at capacity and no one else could get in. So we were stuck and did not get to get into Capital One. Hoping that we can get in there tomorrow because we've traveled from Colorado and did not get a chance to take in any of the festivities.
First of all, we've never been to an inauguration before, and just to be there, you know, and see the actual inauguration happen.
Yeah.
It's just an exciting thing to me.
Many of the people I've spoken to say they actually relish the idea of being able to watch the event indoors. Now, the doors to the arena will actually open a few hours before the inauguration events start, so they like that. But one more thing that's making things more difficult is that the metro stations surrounding this immediate area are also closed for the day. Reporting from Washington, D.C., Myra Ruiz, Fox Caroline.